I just got done carving this ogre troll, and it was a really good learning experience for me. I really want to get better at wood carving, and this was ultimately a practice piece for me. So let me walk you through some of the things that I did. There were a lot of firsts for me in this project. So for this project, I used some images off of the internet in order to get some ideas. I really wanted to do an ogre or a troll, some kind of monster face. Then I started sculpting my ideas with clay. My very first time working with clay. I've never sculpted before, so it was an interesting process. I just used this small log in order to support the head while I was working on it. Took me quite a long time to get a shape that I was pretty happy with. I did put some horns on. Later on I took those off and I decided not to go with them. It gave it too much of a devil or demon type of look. I was not going for that. By using a square, I was able to create my template from which I could start carving. And then I had to sharpen all of my tools, and strop them. And then it was on to carving. I used the big gouges to start. Take away the big bulk of the waste. And this is where having those images glued onto the surface really helped, because then I can remove a large amount of material without worrying about cutting into the carving that I want to carve. This piece of wood I actually found in a pile of firewood. Where we were camping, they had just recently built some structures, and this was a cutoff from one of those structures, and I saw it sitting there and I saw some of the coloring in it, so I picked it up and thought I could do something with it, and this was the project I chose for it. I believe it's southern pine. I'm not 100% sure, but if anybody knows for sure, please leave a comment in the comments below. Carving this was pretty straightforward. I was really glad I had the model to work from, because the angles are deceptive if you just try and do it from a paper drawing. The slope on the head was a lot narrower, so to speak, than I thought originally. And then I must have got my proportions out of whack a little bit, and I had to glue a block onto the back because the head wasn't going to be round enough. So once that dried, I was then able to carve off the back and make it look a little more natural. Taking the time to get the gouges sharp was very important. Made the cuts a lot better, a lot smoother, had a lot more control. I had very little tear out whenever I was cutting. And about every, hour or so, I would stop and then strop the tools again. Keep a nice sharp edge on them. It took me about 2.5 weeks to carve this. I only would work on it for about 45 minutes to an hour at a time, and then get back to it. I think by taking my time, I did a little better job. Sometimes I tend to rush things. The eyes are a difficult thing to get right, and I'm still working on that. But once I had it roughed out, then I was able to scrape it and then sand it after that to get the whole surface smooth. I didn't quite get the right proportions, or I shouldn't say the same proportions as what I had from my model, but I really like how it turned out in the end. There's a few things I wish I would have done differently, but overall, I like this little guy. I call him George. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. I'll be doing another big carving sometime soon, and I will keep you updated when I do that. Bye for now.